How can you buy a house if you already own one? Do you have to sell first? This is one of the most common questions people ask, and the answer is it really depends on your situation, your goals, your long-term goals, your short-term goals, and what you qualify for. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through 4 real options and important things to consider for each. What actually happens in real life and how to make the best decision for you. I was on the phone with a client recently, Kim, and she was right in the middle of this. She said to me, it was so much easier when we bought our first home, not having to think about this one and selling or buying. Do we need to sell first? I don't want to start selling my house until I have a new one picked out. I could hear the frustration and the confusion and a lot of panic. It wasn't just questions she was asking. She was thinking through everything all at once. She had already started packing, decluttering closets, the kids' rooms, and even going through the pantry. At the same time, she was already looking for new homes. So then she was really in a panic about what to do. So I told her the best first steps were for us to take a moment, work through her options, come up with a strategic plan. We had to determine our options based on a lender perspective and her own personal goals. Option 1, keep the current home for rental. Option 2, look for a new house before you sell your current home. And option 3, try to sell your home before looking for a new one to purchase. Option 4, contract on your new home and then start selling your old home. So let's break down those 4 options. Option 1, rent your home. What if you just keep your home and rent it out? People talk all the time about the house note being paid for by the rental, and that can absolutely be a great strategy. But just because they have enough money coming in to pay the mortgage when there's a renter there, there's a lot they're not saying. If you're planning to use the equity from your home for the down payment on the next one and you're renting, then you have 2 options. You can borrow against that equity, but that means another loan, maybe a HELOC, or you don't borrow and then you have less money down for the new house. You would need to carry your current mortgage, the new mortgage, and then possibly if you borrowed that third mortgage. So can you do that? If you wouldn't be using your equity for the down payment, do you have other money? So would you be putting less down on the new home? That affects your monthly payment because you'll have less down and a higher payment. Can you get approved for both mortgages? And another consideration is, are you ready to be a landlord? Are you ready for those middle of the night phone calls when the AC goes out? Do you have funds for repairs? So keeping your current home for a rental could be right for you, but it has to match your goals and your lifestyle. And that's where talking to your lender really matters. It's not just your goals, it's whether you would qualify this way. So option 2, looking for a house before you have a buyer for your own. So if renting isn't for you, you can start looking for a house. But what if you find something and need to make an offer first before you have an offer on your home? You can do that. But do you want or need to make it a contingent offer? Do you have to sell your house before you can purchase your new one? Or can you purchase without selling your house first? And you need to make sure that what will work for your personal budget will also work for your lender in being able to qualify you. Now here's the reality most people don't see. What is a contingent offer from the seller's perspective? Your contingent offer is weaker. The seller may not negotiate as much on the price or on the seller concessions they're willing to pay. And they may keep marketing their property, just like the situation with my client Kim. So if you go this route of making a contingent offer, you need a plan B. Because if another buyer comes in, you may have just a few days to decide whether to remove that contingency and possibly buy the house without selling it first, or to have to walk away. And by then you've probably envisioned where the Christmas tree is going to go and where you're going to have your morning cup of coffee. It's important for you to have worked through that plan B with your lender. What can you get qualified for? So option 3, you're trying to sell your home first and then find a new one for purchasing. First thing you may run into is you may get an offer and then have to scramble and rush to find your next house. So one way to help is when you're accepting an offer on your home and still have to find your new home to purchase, ask your buyer for a longer close period, maybe 45 to 60 days. So the reality is you may have to live somewhere else for a little while before you can close on your new home. Third consideration, You may find a house to buy, but it all works out for you to buy and sell on the same day. But you need to have your loan lined up with your lender, a lender who can commit to closing fast. That way you may be able to actually sit at the closing table, sell your home, and then purchase your new home all on the same day. So your option 4 plan may be contracting on your new home and then trying to sell your current home. If you need to purchase your new home before you sell your current home, you may have less money down initially for the purchase. This will result in a higher payment because you're borrowing more. Having less down can affect your interest rate, possibly put you in a different category that involves PMI. You may have to carry 2 mortgages before your house sells. So we've discussed a lot of details about options you have when you have a home to sell and you're purchasing a new home. Option 1, keep your current home for rental. Option 2, look for a new house before you sell your current house. Option 3, try to sell your home before looking for your new one to purchase. And option 4, contract on your new home, then try to sell your current home. Your most important first step when you're looking at the situation is to discuss it with a trusted mortgage lender. They will walk you through these steps, make sure you qualify for the ones that most meet your personal goals, and let you know what options are actually available to you, not based on your emotions, but based on qualifying and the bigger goals you have after all of this plays out. There's a lot of pressure during this process. And if you feel like you don't know what to do, or you're reading or Googling or chatting what to do, the truth is the right home is out there for you, the right place with the right neighbors, the right community. And when you work with a lender like Vessel Mortgage, we understand that this is much more important than just being able to push buttons on a vending machine mortgage. We can give you a peaceful, honest process, clear guidance. We're going to go through your goals. We're going to actually care about what meets your goals and your needs. And then you can move forward with confidence. If you'd love to work with us, we'd love to work with you. Call or text me at 504-949-0070 or use the calendar link below to set a time to discuss your options.